Hello guys, today we're going to be solving a new problem. It's going to be LeetCode problem 1389, create target array in the given order. Given two arrays of integers nums and index, your task is to create a target array under the following rules. Initially, target array is empty from left to right, read nums at index I, and index I insert at index I the value nums I in the target array. Repeat the previous step until there are no elements to read in nums and index. Return the target array and it is guaranteed that insertion operations will be valid. So we can see there is a couple of test cases given to us, and the first thing that we need to do is to follow the instruction. What we need to do is create a target, and based on this test cases we can see that it's going to be the list. So we create our target is empty, and this is where we're going to be store our result. And the next thing that they ask us to do is from left to right read nums at I and index at I and insert the index and the value nums in the target array. So already in the second part they kind of give us the hint of what we need to do. So we need to use the insert method. If you are not familiar what the insert method is, the insert method is essentially the method that is used in list, where you can insert the value at the specific position. So let's say you have a list with 100 elements and you want to insert it at the specific position. That's where it is going to be useful. So what we need to do is we need to iterate through all the elements in the nums list, because essentially that's what the values we're going to be inserting in our target array. And we also need index list, because index list will specify at which particular position we are going to insert nums values. So what we need to do is instead of doing this, where essentially we get each value from the nums array list, what we need to do is we need to iterate through the range. So we do for n in range of length of nums, and then we are going to use the insertion method. So we do target dot insert. We're going to insert at the index.i, and what we need to insert is the values at nums at I. And after this is done, we just need to return our target array. So what is actually happening in this line of code in line 5? So if you go step by step following the first test case, we can see that the index is 0 essentially, and the value at the index 0 is 0. So we will end up inserting 0 at the first element. And the next one, what happens if the next value is 1? So the index is at 1, so the value at nums at index 1 is 1 as well. So we will end up inserting 0 and 1, and it's going to follow the trend. So the next one is 2, the value at index 2 is 2, okay? So 0, 1, 2, number 4, And this part where it gets a little bit tricky, because now we want to insert at the at the at the position 2, but at the same time what we want to insert is the value of 3. So how does that work? So I have 0 and 1 is not going to change, but at the position 2 what we end up inserting will be 3 in this case. And what happens to 2 is essentially 2 will go back in one position, so we'll end up getting something like this. So 0, 1, 3, 2, and the last part it's going to be, we want to insert it at the index 1, and we want to insert the value of 4. So we have 0, 4, and we end up moving all the elements to the back at one position. So we have 0, 4, 1, 3, and 2, as you can see in the output. Alright, and the overall time complexity for this algorithm will be big O of n. Essentially, we are iterating through each value of the list, and the space, in terms of space complexity, it's also going to be the big O of n, because the more values we get, the more bigger our list will become, and list in itself is will be getting a space complexity of 0, big O of n. So here we go. Let's try to run our code if it works. Oh, there is some issue. Oh, because the typing issues. Instead of I, it should be n here. There we have it. It worked. Let's submit our solution. And there we have it.